So I wasn't used to seeing a website renewal price with the same amount or close to the original price that they offered until now. Today I'm going to show you how most website domain name purchase sites are going to reel you in just to overcharge you later, how to avoid paying extra money to protect things like your name, your address, and your phone number being out there publicly on the internet so customers aren't showing up at your door. I'm going to give you my recommended site to use to purchase your domain name, and how to get multiple business emails, almost as many as you need or want, for the same price you would pay for one email, if not less. So I used to use GoDaddy for all of my domains, for all of the emails that I purchased, just everything dealing with a URL. What got me hooked in the first place was their cheap introductory prices, as we can see here on this example of worstphone.com. You can see they draw you in with things like a penny for the first year. And then also they had pretty good help in regards to the DNS records and name servers. You guys might not be familiar with that if you don't do any work on your website yourself, but I found that to be easy to do, and they had good customer service in that area. But the problem always occurred with the renewal. It would be very saddening to see that it was so much more than it was initially. Like you can see here, this 1 cent that you get for the first year is great, but you have to get at least 3 years of registration at once to get that 1 cent price for the first year. And look, if you don't do the bundle of 3 years all at once and you do 1 year, you can see that they do still give you a discounted price at $12 for the first year, but it renews at about $22, which is more than double the price. So I knew there had to be something better out there. And then in my search, I realized that most other companies are doing about the same thing. As we can see here on Wix, what they do is they actually give you the first year for free if you purchase one of their hosting plans, because of course once you get the URL, you have to have a place for your website to live, and that's going to be your hosting site. So you have to connect your domain name to some type of hosting to make your website active. But you don't have to get your domain name, your hosting, and all of that stuff at the same place. But we can see here the cheapest way to get a free year is to still pay $17 a month for one of their hosting services. Now, this is that same URL that we were looking at, worstphones.com. And if you don't do the hosting and you just get the URL, the domain name from here, you can see that you're looking at paying about $17 a year. And if you get multiple years, you can save, but the cheapest is $15 per year by getting multiple years. And this is still cheaper than the $22 constant renewal that you would pay for the same domain on GoDaddy. But let's take a look at another site. Now we can see at HostGator, they also do the same, get a free domain for the first year. And of course, that's going to be with you getting any of their hosting plans, which you can see the cheapest you can get here is $375 a month. And also you can see that it auto renews at the regular rate. And if you register for a free domain through them and you wish to cancel the account, there is a fee to retain your domain. So even if you get it for free and you try to leave or cancel, you will have to still pay something. Now, what is that regular rate that they have for that same domain name that we looked at, worstphones.com? Well, you're looking at about $13 per year for this same URL. So we're getting a little bit cheaper, but it's still not the best we can do. Now, I mentioned that most of them are going to charge you to protect your personal information from being out there publicly available on the internet. This is because people that purchase domain names have their information registered on the ICANN database. Now, we can see here at HostGator, their protection is $15 per year on top of the $13 per year that you would pay for this domain if you just got the domain. If we go back to Wix, you can see that you'll have to pay about $10 a year to get that same protection in addition to what you would pay for the domain name. Now with GoDaddy, they do offer that protection for free. However, they do recommend that you get this special protection to make sure that nobody can hack in and get your domain name and steal it out of your account. And they offer that for about $12 per year. And then that renews at $13 per year. Now this is something that they should just already give you. So this is something I would say to ignore, but most people won't know that and they'll probably end up paying this extra not knowing it. Now we're going to talk about how to get those email addresses in a second, but let me give you my top recommendation that I actually use now for all my domain names. So the place I'm talking about is Pork Bun. Now, of course, that's a funny name for a domain name purchase site, but they have really good deals and they've been great so far. As you can look here and see, the same domain name is going to be $9.37 for the first year, and then it renews at $10.37. So that is a lot more value than the other websites that we already looked at. And just to show you here that no matter, how many, years you pick, it's going to still be the same amount that you pay every year, which is much better than paying a little bit in the beginning and then getting hit with almost double the price or a lot more later on down the line. And also Also, they do include that protection for your personal information. They have a few extra trials of some things that you can get here. You get email forwarding, URL forwarding, and you also get an SSL certificate as well with your domain. Now, they do have great and fast customer service. I actually had an issue when I was trying to connect the last domain that I got to my Google Workspace account, and they answered the phone pretty quickly. I explained what I was trying to do. They were already familiar with it, and they helped me get through it within like 5 minutes. And also their name servers and DNS records were really easy to use as well. I'll put a link to Port Bunny down in the description, so check that out. Now, I mentioned emails and how they're usually trying to charge you an arm and a leg for the emails. What I'm talking about is, as you can see here on the GoDaddy website, if you want to get an email address, they would connect you with Microsoft 360 Email Essentials. And basically, for the year price on that, you can get a deal on the first year, of course, and it's going to be almost $24. But then if you look down here at the renewal price, it's going to be almost $96. And this is for the year. But also notice that this is just one mailbox. So if you have, will@worstphones.com, that's going to count as one email. If you wanted info@worstphones.com and admin@worstphones.com, then you're going to end up having to multiply this by, the number of emails that you want for the year. They do still give you that discount off of the first year, but every year after that, you're going to be paying about $287, a little more than that, to have 3 emails every year. Now, there's a way you can create almost an unlimited amount of email addresses like that. When at your name, info, admin, sales, whatever you need it to be, you can have all of them in one place, and it'll be way cheaper than the cost of even one email address from the same site we just looked at. So I'm going to show you where to go and how to get that set up right here so that you can get the most value out of your professional email address and a lot of other features as well. And I'll see you in the next video.